on the tower clock. Correct time for the big boss with the hot sauce. You see, that's me. I am the Geator with the heater being on the record. I play the single, rotten bop and chip. Once again, let me say greetings and salutations to the entire population of this here fantastic nation. I am the Geator. It's Geator Gold Radio, and you're on the air with Frankie Avalon, with Annette Fonicella, with Connie Francis. But right now, let's go with the Geator Gold dancers as we salute the fabulous 50s. The young man's name, you got it, Richard Penniman. The world knows him as Little Richard. It's written by Little Richard and also by a fellow by the name of Bumps Blackwell. And in the 50s, when you talk about what you're going to hear and see tonight, you're going to hear and see the very best with the Geator Gold dancers. The young man by the name of Little Richard is rocking and rolling, and in 1958, when we come back, a salute to Connie Francis. Yeah, back with yours truly, the Geator, on the air, Geator Gold Radio. In the background, a song which is a gigantic hit in 1956 by Bill Doggett. It's called Honky Tonk. In 1956, there's a young little girl out of Newark who is appearing on the Arthur Godfrey Show. She's a young little teenager. She's about 16 years of age. When this young girl is 18, she records her first song in 1958 and becomes a household word. I'm talking about the little lady from Newark by the name of Miss Connie Francis.
Sorry now, who's sorry now, whose heart is aching for breaking each vow, who's sad and blue, who's crying too.
I tried to warn you.
Conchetta Rosa Maria Francinero out of Newark. That's her real name, Connie Francis. Interesting because you see that song, Who's Sorry Now, was a big hit in 1923. When you talk about the 50s, I got to go to my Geator Phonovision right now and present to you, and I don't know how he stays so young, a guy that looks the same today as he did back then, talking about my buddy, Frankie Avalon.
Yeah. Oh, hey, yo, Geator, how are you?
Frankie, I am wonderful. And I'll tell you, I just told our audience out there, I can't believe it. You look like you're still 19 years old. You know, it's incredible how far you and I go back from the old neighborhood.
Hey, listen, we go back a long time.
You're right, Frankie, a long time. Listen, how old were you when you first recorded, though, Frank?
I was 18 years old.
Yeah, but you were playing trumpet at an early age before you recorded, right?
I started playing trumpet at 10, and at 11 years old, I was on the Jackie Gleason Show, Perry Como Show, Pinky Lee Show, and I was under contract to a subsidiary of RCA Victor Records called Label X.
Right.
So I was already recording, but as a trumpet player, you're right.
Now, how do you make a transition, Frank, from a trumpet player to a singer?
Actually, the way it happened is kind of ironic because I really had no intentions of becoming a singer, but I was with a local band in Philadelphia, and we used to play South Jersey quite a bit, a place called Mary's Inn, and the band was called Rocco and the Saints.
Oh, yeah.
And I was playing trumpet and doing a little singing at the time, and Bob Marcucci, Pete DeAngelis had a record company, local company called Chancellor Records, came in, saw the band, and they liked us, and they wanted one side to be an instrumental, and the other side they wanted a singer. And because I did a couple of songs, they said, "You're the singer."
How about that? Now, Bobby and Pete, you know, were also producing beside owning Chancellor Records. Your first song is Dee Dee Dinah. Then, in '59, you become a superstar with a song called Venus. Now, you're a kid from downtown South Philadelphia. And, you know, when we talk about neighborhoods, Italian neighborhoods, you talk about Monday, soup. Tuesday, spaghetti and meatballs. Wednesday, pasta basil. Thursday, spaghetti and meatballs. Friday, a fish platter. Saturday, spaghetti and meatballs. And then Sunday, again, spaghetti and meatballs. This is the way you used to live in the neighborhood, and you love it. What happens now that you become a big star and this all changes?
First of all, when it started to happen for me, I traveled all over the world, and I missed, you know, Sunday spaghetti. I missed Tuesday spaghetti, Thursday spaghetti. I mean, you know, that's where I grew up, and to this day, even in California now, I still have Sunday spaghetti with my whole family. I've got a large family, and I make sure that we have the spaghetti, meatballs, and sausage and everything.
I love it.
It changed me considerably, only because I got so busy. I mean, I was really working very hard and doing a lot of interviews and doing a lot of concert shows and then getting involved in motion pictures and so forth. It changed me only because I was constantly busy.
Well, you keep on working. Now, that's interesting. The first superstar, folks, is this young man to make it big in the movies. Now, I know you got the hit records, and Hollywood normally has got to call you, but how does it happen that you wind up doing a movie with John Wayne, Richard Widmark, Lawrence Harvey, Richard Boone? How does that happen?
Warner Brothers brought me out to Hollywood to do my first picture with Alan Ladd called Guns of the Timberland. And because of that, the success of that picture, John Wayne then called for me to do a very huge motion picture called The Alamo. And I was Smitty, and I had a wonderful part. And from there, I went to Columbia, and I went to 20th Century Fox, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. So I then became involved into motion pictures as an actor. So I was doing both. I was singing and I was acting.
Sorry, sir. She sort of come loose. I'd like to speak to David Crockett.
You did?
That was David Crockett from Tennessee.
Yes, sir. And I ought to know, me and him's neighbors back home. Only live 40 miles apart.
I think you'll agree, he looks like he's 14. Frankie, in that picture, you look like you're a baby. It's incredible. I'll tell you, it was a great picture, and you did a lot of great major motion pictures out there. But I think everybody will agree they remember Frankie Avalon in the early days in Hollywood with Annette Funicello. Now, I don't know if this thing happened by accident or who put you together, but how did it really come to be?
Well, I had known Annette before. We had dated before. We went to a couple of drive-in movies, and so we'd known each other, and we dated. But by the time we do the pictures now, I'm married, and we start a family right away. But we start to work, and it just happened on the first day of shooting. I'll never forget, was a wonderful little scene there. And there was a nice little spark that happened between the two of us. And Bill Asher, our director, after he had yelled cut, he came over to me and he said, you know, there's a nice report. I said, well, she's a friend of mine. I really like Annette. And she felt the same way about me. And it came across the screen. And we thought that we had a good combination. And apparently we did, because we made about 7 or 8 films together that were really successful.
Take your blanket, made for 2 now.
And a boy and a girl.
That's a game for me and you now.
Yeah, let's give it a whirl. Beach blanket bingo. Beach blanket bingo. Beach blanket bingo. That's the name of the game.
You know what I think?
No, what?
I think, you think, I think, love doesn't mean a thing. I've got
You think.
news for you.
I think. Love means a wedding ring.
I think.
know
You
that it's true.
I think, love's just a run around. You
I think.
know that's not true.
I think it's time we settle down with
All this thinking going on, it really seems to me.
I've been thinking a lot about you, and you've been thinking a lot about me. Well, I think,
You think, why think? Let's get together now. You know I love you.
I love that. Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers of the 60s. Did you know that? Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers? Frank, in the 70s, though, you did something which I think was wonderful, and Venus has always been a good luck charm for you. You come back in the 70s with a whole brand new version of Venus. Tell me about that.
We did a disco version when disco was just coming in '76, and the record came out, and again became #1. It put me back on the charts again, and it became #1 again, and gave me resurgence, which gave me another opportunity to do a very successful picture called Grease, where I played Teen Angel, and the album was an 18 million selling album.
Beauty school dropout, no graduation day for you. Beauty school dropout, missed your midterms and flunked shampoo. Well, at least you could have taken time to wash and clean your clothes up after spending all that dough to have the doctor fix your nose up. Baby, get moving. Why keep your feeble hopes alive? What are you proving? You've got the dream, but not the drive. If you go for your diploma, you could join a steno pool, turn in your T's and comb and go back to high school. Beauty school dropout, hanging around the corner store. Beauty school dropout, it's about time you knew the score. Well, they couldn't teach you anything. You think you're such a looker, but no customer would go to you unless she was a hooker. Baby, don't sweat it. You're not cut out to hold the job. Better forget it. Who wants their hair done by a slob? Now your bangs are curled, your lashes twirled. Still the world is cruel. Wipe off that angel face.
I love the way he does that song. Frank, let me ask you this question, good buddy. You're living in Hollywood now, and you've been in Hollywood for a long time. It's a long way from the streets of South Philadelphia. How do you stay normal in that environment? How do you keep your feet on the ground?
You know, I never really took it seriously to where, you know, this is a tough business, like any business. I don't care what business you're in, and there are ups and downs. And I've had my my ups and I've had my downs, but I've always been like, and I always tell people, I'm like a blue chip stock. You know, I kind of fluctuate here and there, but it's a good, solid background, and never taking it seriously, I think, really kept my feet on the ground.
All right. You answered my question. One more last question, buddy, because I don't know if you folks realize this, but Frankie Avalon has 9 kids. Now, Frank, we grew up differently in the 50s than kids today. What can you tell me and the audience out there? How do you take the background that your mom and dad gave you, the respect and the discipline, and how do you apply it to raising 9 kids today?
Growing up as a boy in the neighborhood of South Philadelphia, and the parents that I have, and my dad is gone now, but they gave me such esteem, self-esteem, always told me things that were so important of being, you know, you're terrific, you're good, and it made you feel good. And they, you know, not downing your children. And I think that's very important. You support your kids, and I sure had it. And I think that's one of the big things. I tell my children all the time, you're great, you're the best, you got to work hard. Always think that you are superior, but never lose respect for people. And I think, you know, a lot of parents would like to have that, but, you know, we get sidetracked here and there. I'm not saying I'm the perfect parent. You know, we've had our times here and there, but at least we do have a direction with our children.
Frankie, I think you put it so well. Frankie Avalon. I know you got to go, my pal. Listen, thank you for being a part of it. You know we love you.
Well, thank you, Geator. Thanks for having me on your show. You've always been a guy that's always had, again, you know, compliments and compliments. I love you too. Thanks.
My buddy, Frankie Avalon. I'll tell you what. Let's go to the year 1976. Let's get our Geator Gold dancers and let's let them show you how they do a little bit of disco dancing to the version that Frankie Avalon had out in 1959. Frankie doing Beat Us. in 1957, huh? Well, you know, the biggest song in the country was this song called The Stroll. It was recorded by the Diamonds, who came in from Canada. And I don't know how many of you remember how to do it, but I'll tell you what. Let's set up our Geator Gold dancers, show you how they do The Stroll. forgot how to do that, but you keep on watching this show and you'll learn all those dances. Well, guess what? It has been a fantastic evening just to hang out with you. And of course, as I've said in the past, we will explore not only the music, but the legends and the people that have contributed so much to the music that you love. I gotta go until we do it again, and I gotta thank Frankie Avalon and Ned and Connie Francis. This is the Geator, the big boss with the big hot sauce for the reminder. Remember, at all times, you keep on rocking, because honest and truly in life, that's it. You only rock once. Bye-bye, y'all.